Hi, Auntie.
All righty, here we
Hey,
go. Welcome, ladies and gents. We are here tonight for the Let's Talk About It Teen Edition. Hello, 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 everyone. Tonight it's all about you guys. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with you. How is this pandemic affecting you all in your social life, in your school life, and what's up? Because it's a little bit of an age gap, not too big, but a little bit of an age gap. But we just want to know how y'all handle it. Is it a problem at all, or is it cool? Is it stressing you out? What's what? So, first, let me just go around the room. I'm gonna just say just that. How are y'all doing? First of all, I'm sorry. I have with us Empress, one of our teens at Leviticus. Michaela, hey Michaela, another one of our teens. Um, Young Master, who is this Young Master?
Sebastian.
Seabass. Got Dorian, what up, Dorian? And I also have with us Safia. She's one of our leaders in the church, and she's also a social worker. Am I correct, Safia? You work in
Yes.
social field? Okay, tell us a little bit about that.
I'm a licensed clinical social worker, a licensed therapist. So I work with children, I work with adults, specifically surrounding trauma.
Okay, cool.
And just transitions and changes and those types of things.
Cool. And I'm Coach G. I work in high school. I work as a coach, and I also work in the behavior support group with these young ones in the high school atmosphere. So I can somewhat relate. All right. So topic of the day, pandemic. First of all, just tell us how you're doing. How is everything? Let's start with Michaela. How's everything been going with you?
Everything's been going really great. First of all, hi everybody. I'm really excited to be on Team Let's Talk About It. I'm Michaela. I'm 16, sophomore. I don't know if we're introducing, but yeah. Quarantine, COVID, I've been pretty good. It was rocky, but now it's better. To sum it up, I'm glad that I'm around friends and family, and I'm glad that I'm healthy.
Good. Empress, how you been?
Hi, my name is Empress. Are we doing introductions or no?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Okay, I'm Empress. I'm 16. I'm a junior. Corona, pandemic, everything, at first I was okay with it, I was dealing with it. And then I'm just over it. I'm ready for it to be done, over it. It's tiring.
Hopefully it'll be done.
But I'm alive and I'm healthy and I have family. So like Michaela said, that's good, but I'm just over it, like for real.
Cool. Like I said, I hope we can get through this quickly. I also have on here Jaywan. I believe that's one of our next former students. How you doing, Jaywan? You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
How y'all doing? My name is Jaywan Johnson. I'm 20, about to be 21. Actually the acting assistant supervisor for evening shift for the VCU Health Security Department. I'm actually doing good so far. Still in school. I go to VCU. Other than that, COVID it's affected me more with me having to deal with more COVID patients working in the hospital. But other than that, I've been okay.
Cool. Glad you can join us. Dorian, how you been, man? First of all, where are you now?
I'm still in Chirac, but I'm about to be in Japan real soon, you know what I'm saying? But
we praying for you, brother. Stay safe out there.
yes, sir. But shoot, COVID for me, you know what I'm saying? A lot of quarantining. I'm gonna say that. Other than that, it's just not being able to do the same stuff we used to be able to do. But other than that, we Gucci, you know. So
Cool. Young Master, how are things with you?
They were cool. They cool. Cool as ever. I mean,
Cool.
I'm a bit bored sometimes.
Bit bored? Hey,
A bit.
you bored too. You
That's
gotta
just
learn how to entertain yourself.
drawing gets old sometimes, believe it or not.
You gotta find different things to draw about, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Is that Marty? What's up, Marty? How you doing?
Hello.
You good?
I'm fine. I'm doing okay.
Well, where did nose ring come from? I didn't see that last time, did I?
It's fake. I just gotta add a bit of sparkle or whatever.
Bit of sparkle. I like it. That's cool. Cool. All right, so look. All right, one thing, especially like in COVID, not even just in COVID, just in life in general. The word we're gonna talk about today is resilience. So when I say that word resilience, what comes to mind? And again, this is a free for all. We can take turns. Just go ahead. You know, when I'm not going to go in any order. So, what does resilience mean to you? Anyone? I'm gonna start calling people. Dorian, since you out there protecting our country, what does resilience mean for you?
bet. So resilience for me anyway means day in and day out grind. You know what I'm saying? Being able to like face things that you wouldn't usually face and then be victorious. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like resilience is.
I like that. Marty, what does resilience mean for you?
Um, I think resilience for me means I think being able to um keep your composure and keep it together through things and kind of being tough in a way.
Tough. I like that. Good answer. So those are great answers. So um the book definition says the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties and toughness. So you right on track. Another definition says the ability to have substance to spring back into shape. Elasticity, like something happens, you don't stay down too long, you can bounce right back just like that, right? So, like I said, with things, being like different these days, we got to have resilience and to like adapt to different situations. Like this is just a new way of life. Things are not as they were, right? So when something happens, we can't just be like, "Oh, I don't like it like that," because I deal with a lot of my kids. I'm just talking in general, my kids that I work with. A lot of them are having tough times because they can't adapt to a different situation to how things are now. It may go back to where it was. It may never go back to where it was. We don't know yet, right? So we got to be resilient in how we handle in these situations, right? We got to be able to push through and push forward. And this is a new norm, right? It's a new norm. It is what it is. All right. So I like the word toughness. That was good. Good job, Dorian and Marty. All right. So with this being the way it is, what are some ways that you're dealing with this new norm? Like how are you dealing in everyday life? We'll come back to school. Let's just say just regular life. Like how are you dealing with the things the way they are now? I know sometimes for me is like I said, it could be boring. But like I say, you got to find out different ways to um entertain yourself. I know I'm getting all my money's worth in Netflix right now. I know that. That's one thing I'm doing. I'm all these shows. I'm becoming a real couch potato. I got to get out more, but That's one thing I'm doing. So what do you all do? I know some of y'all have jobs too. So let's talk about whatever. How are we making it these days? Empress, I like the face you made. What is that with you? Is that it?
It's my cat. This is Zoe.
Oh,
Leave
I
me
didn't know. I saw
alone.
something move. I was like, wow, what is that?
Yeah, no, she won't leave me alone. I can't really do anything. So, yeah, so quarantine at first, I was just really antsy. And so I just couldn't stay in the house anymore. So my dad just called me while he was driving up there and he was like, Empress, go to McDonald's and get a job. And because I was so antsy, I had to get out and I had to go at least be around people for a certain amount of time. So um I got my job in like September and I transferred to another McDonald's. And I don't know, like it's just really different. I don't know how it was before quarantine, but I know that it was just like really hard and really different. And I don't know, like I feel like it's
Just staying on the topic of resilience, right?
yeah,
You and I
that's
talked
trying to connect
privately.
to.
You and I talked before about resilience. You had a situation with a coworker, right? How did you push through that? Like, is it resolved? Is it?
Sure. Let's talk about it.
How did you get in this situation?
Putting out business. Okay, one of my coworkers at the other McDonald's before I transferred to the one that I was at, he tried to he tried to kiss me, whatever. And it wasn't the fact that he tried to kiss me, it was the back, like what happened after. It was kind of like harassing. I mean, when I think about it, it is harassing, but I wouldn't want to use that word because I have no hatred towards him. But it was harassing how he was treating me afterwards. So I had to say something, and it was really hard because I'm, as a female, a young lady, this kind of happens a lot. And so finally I say something about it because it's in a workplace, it's my first job, and it went left completely. And so I had to leave and go to another McDonald's. So it showed it was really tough. It was really tough because I always just stayed quiet because I didn't think it was a big deal, but like it's a big deal. Like you need to say something. And it was really tough. And all he did was try to kiss me. So it also made me think of females that go through worse than just the kiss. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. And I had some resilience. Yeah, I guess you could say that because it was hard. I felt horrible. They were making, like, I only went back one day and it was horrible. It was really bad. So I just had to do it. Yeah.
I think I was talking about something different, but I'm glad you talked about that instead.
What were you talking about?
It doesn't matter. The thing with your other coworker, the female lady or whatever. But anyway, I'm glad you talked about that because that is a good.
Oh, that one. Yes. Okay.
I'm glad you did stand your ground and good showing resilience. And you got to set boundaries, especially at work. Work is work, and we must be professional, right, at all times. And okay to have friendships and relationships or whatever, but definitely set boundaries because something small can turn into something big, down the road, and we just want to be protected and be safe and handle our situations the best way, right? So I do commend you on that. Okay, good job. A lot of times with like I said, my football players, I coach football and track, and they're having a tough time with are we even going to have a season? And if we do have a season, what the season going to look like? Then they cut it from 10 games to 6 games. And, I got some seniors that's trying to get into college and, they're trying to do the best that they can. And, a lot of them struggling with grades, because they're just not used to being virtual. So that's some things that I'm dealing with my kids and stuff. But who else has something that they want to talk about something that they had to push through? Anyone? Any tough situations?
I guess
Okay, I
I'll go.
think I'm gonna go.
Oh,
Oh,
you can go.
fine.
Oh, no, you
Go ahead. Nope, please.
I think I just I don't know. I've been struggling all year, so this pandemic honestly it didn't do much of a difference for me personally, but uh, I think something that has helped me be, I'm not exactly sure if this was the question, but I think something that has helped me be a bit more resilient was finding acceptance and these situations and these times, and just myself learning to just accept certain things, because if you dwell on these things too much, then you can kind of lose your mind, and I don't want to do that. So I think just starting to accept things for what they are and being able to push through and hope for better days is I think that's being resilient. And yeah.
Definitely. Everyone wants to be accepted. Everyone wants to be appreciated. So, definitely. So just keep working on it, and allowing people to see who you are, and just keep showing more of you, and you know, the right people connect with you. Okay. So that's good. So,
One thing I want. Oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead. No. Go
Okay.
ahead.
One thing, just in thinking about just situations where resilience, comes into play, something to think about is oftentimes, when you think about situations that require you to be resilient, it reveals qualities or characteristics in yourself that you may not have realized. And so as you guys kind of think of situations where you've had to be resilient in, what are some things that you've learned about yourself just in this pandemic and everything that has included?
Let me hear from young master. What have you learned about yourself? Seabass, is he still there?
Empress, you want to say something?
I do want to say something, but I don't know if Sebastian's at his phone right now. Who knows? He could be anywhere right now. But I wanted to say that about the question that you just asked. I realized that I know more than I think I know. People tell me this a lot because I tend to act. I do it on purpose, but I just act like I don't pay attention, like I don't know what's going on, but I really do. So quarantine and COVID and with getting a job, it has like forced me to grow up and actually act my age. Like, okay, Empress, you're 16, you're about to be 17, you really have to start acting. And it really forced me to grow up, and I know more than I think I know. Like, I pay attention to more than I think I pay attention to. I'm more mature than I think I am. Like, and I didn't know that at first. Also, I know more about God than I thought I did, which I didn't think I knew anything about him, but I really do, and yeah.
Did Michaela, did you have something, or was I thought I heard you? You didn't? Okay. Jaywan, did you have anything to say? Anything that has revealed what this pandemic has revealed about yourself?
I've noticed since COVID and everything, like she was just saying, like my relationship with God has gotten a lot closer, because before COVID, I was always running, ripping and racing all the time. But now with COVID, I've had the chance to kind of slow down and kind of have that one-on-one time with God and be able to literally just sit there and just talk to him.
Definitely. That's definitely a good thing. Dorian?
Yes, sir. All right. So rephrase the question. It was what we learned about ourselves during COVID.
Yeah.
Man, what I learned about myself during COVID, I'm lazy as I don't know what, man. You know, every quarantine was an elongated weekend for me, you know what I'm saying? But like I should better time manage all this free time I have, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, do you really feel like time managing extra time? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was COVID for me.
Man, I definitely can attest to managing your time wisely because, you know, with things being shut down, it's like you can't do everything that you want to do. And the things that you want to do, you don't have a whole lot of time to do it. So if you don't do it now, it's like, when can you do it? And so you might miss an opportunity. So it's like, I feel you. I definitely feel you. I definitely need myself, speaking to Deacon myself, I definitely got to work on my own time management and getting things done in a timely fashion. So definitely,
I have a good thing to say though.
Go ahead.
With my management, I feel like I may just be wrong, but I feel like, you know how long quarantine has been? I feel like it feels longer. It feels like it's getting longer because we're not using the time. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like,
sorry, you were blinked out a little bit, but I couldn't hear you. Say it again.
Like it feels long. Quarantine feels like a long time. But it's long because I feel like we're not using the time that we have, so we're getting more days. I mean, I'm just thinking here, but
well, time is perception. So it's like for some people it may feel like forever. For some people it may feel like blinking is gone, so it's too quick. So it is what it is. It's just something we just got to learn how to deal with. I noticed that we do have Dr. Masika in here, professor at Bowie State. Masika, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to chime in a little bit, talk to these young ones.
You know, Dorian had my ears go up because Dorian, you're right at the you're an adult now, sir. And when Empress made the comment about the time seems long because it's what you do at the time, I feel like COVID has flown, like from last year to now, the time has flown by. And now, Dorian, you're at the place where your life transitioned from where it used to be, high school, do work. You had a little bit of a break because you graduated a little early, but do work, you excelled, you did well, and now you got free time on your hands. And it's only free if you allow it to be free. You can make it work for you, so that's actually making money for you, is what I know, because you're an entrepreneur at heart. So it's what you do with that time. And you didn't mention to them, Dorian, that you started a business too. You started a business, so I applaud you for that. And it's like, how do you turn the gas up on that when you're in these quarantine situations and you have more time? How do you make the time make money for you and produce for you?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
put that question to Dorian.
Okay, so
business out. Shout out to business. I didn't even know.
Okay, I'm gonna shout out the business then. All right, so when I first touched down in here, you know what I'm saying? It's cold, it's boot cold in Chicago, we got lazy sailors, they don't want to go out and get their food. So I was like, finna start Sailor Eats. You pay me, I go get your grub, return it, add my little fee on top, and I'm making bank, you know what I'm saying? So I've used that to manage my time a little bit better, get money while I'm not doing nothing.
Sailor Eats, I like it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I've been able to do that. And then when Ms. Masika said, how can I better time manage my time? I've been looking at the charts more and more often, when I got free time and such. And what happened to GameStop? That joint shot up. You know what happened to Dogecoin? Everybody on that joint. And then everybody's riding Bitcoin right now. So I want that joint too. So, I'm making money while I'm not at work, you feel me? And that's a good time consumer as well, because time is money. You feel me? But yeah, that's my answer to Masika.
My little Dogecoin and Bitcoin, I'm trying to learn more about it. I don't know enough about it to really get into it heavy, but I'm definitely interested in learning how money makes money. So I
I
ain't
can
got to
tell you
work
a
so
little
hard.
something. Yeah, I can tell you
Yeah,
something.
we gonna link up then. Definitely. That's what's up. That's what's up. Anybody else?
Michaela, what do you have to say about resilience? You have been quiet over there, ma'am.
I know this ain't even like her.
Resilience. When y'all were asking about, what was our definition of resilience, I immediately thought like how quick you can bounce back from something that's really hurt you. So in quarantine, it hit us hard. It hit me hard because I was originally living in North Carolina, and because of quarantine, I moved to Virginia. So that hit me hard because, yeah, I was born in DC. I've been in Virginia, Georgia, throughout the South. But North Carolina was where I've made the majority of my friends. I've been down there since kindergarten. So all of these people that I've grown up with, I had to say bye to, which was such a difficult thing for me. And when I left and came here, I was like, okay, I know 5 people. That's about it. And on top of that, my best friend left me. Dorian went to go fight for our country. Yay. But I'm just like, wow. So everybody's, leaving. I'm leaving. And so I was like, how am I gonna bounce back when I got hit so hard? I was like, I'm not even a fighter. Like, what? But I did find myself. I really did. Quarantine was like a pause. And I said this when we had the in-person Let's Talk About It panel. It was a pause. It gave me time to be with God and find myself in Him. So, yeah, I hope I answered the question.
Oh yeah, you did a great job. You did a great job. Um, one thing like
Okay, thank you.
we've all dealt with, dealing with change and stuff, and I know from firsthand, when my brother Pastor Marlon, he went to Vegas. Like me and Marlon grew up since 4th grade, all the way through high school, through college, and as an adult. And when he left, he said something that was real um, important for me in my growth. As he was like, what's more important, what you want or what God wants? And I'm like, I can't even argue with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, that's my brother, but he has to go do what God told him he needed to do. So that made it a little bit easier to swallow for me, because like I said, that's been my boy for 20 plus years, and you just up and leave me. I'm like, bro, come on now. But like I said,
Right?
I know he's doing what he has to do, and I can't argue. I will never stop someone for me to say no, you can't go. But that'd be selfish of me. So, like I said, I understand what he had to go through, and he's grown as a person. I've grown as a person, and and then it's just another natural part of life, just getting to know other people. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? He might have had to go somewhere so somebody else could come into my life and help me get more growth in my understanding of the word and stuff like that. So it's just one of the things, the show don't stop. Keep
I
on.
got an emotional support dog, so that made it better. He's a puppy, so that looks so scary. Oh my gosh, let
Is
it
it
focus. Yeah, he's a puppy. He's for other things, but emotional support is the main thing.
Yeah, he look like one of them dogs of the commercials where they be like, dogs need homes, please buy, please buy.
Donate 10 cents a day, bro. He's a lot, but yeah, he's definitely helped me through all of quarantine. So
That's what's up, man. I wish I had a support dog when I was younger. My dad bought a dog. I guess you could say we shared it, but it was his dog. But whatever, it's cool. That's awesome, though. That's awesome. I'm glad you got your friend with you to help get through things. That's what's up. Anyone else? Anyone else? Jay, look like you want to say something.
So for me, just in general, for COVID, quarantine, everything, like I know about like I had built a better relationship with God and everything. But to be honest, from March, when it first kind of started, it was kind of hard on me because I already suffered from like depression, anxiety, and everything. So it gotten harder for me. But I with quarantine and everything, it helped me find out who was really there for me and who really wasn't. Because people who I thought were there for me really weren't, and the people I didn't think, they've been there for me through this whole COVID and everything. People reached out to me. My mom and them had it, offering me places to stay. So it's like I've really built some strong, healthy relationships with people since COVID has started.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. I think we all like suffer from a little bit of depression at some time because I haven't been diagnosed or anything, but it is real. It is real. And one thing I suggest to some of my students that I notice certain signs and stuff, just to talk. I'm always here to listen. And if you someone that you trust and you can count on, talk to them, reach out to them, and just say, hey, can we talk? Can we just chit chat for a little bit? It's always good to have someone in your corner to to help you. I mean, going through life alone is almost impossible. So it's always good to have someone in your corner to talk to. All right.
I was gonna say something really quick.
Who was talking?
Hmm?
Oh, that's Monty. Okay, I'm sorry. You go ahead, Monty.
I just wanted to say like just add on to what I said before. I can't like I can't really relate to anyone in that perspective. I feel like the way I went through this pandemic was different from a lot of people, but also not. And yeah, I just recently started therapy, and I think this pandemic has like something that I've learned about myself is like kind of like my needs and exactly what my needs are personally. And I've started to prioritize things like my mental health and I've started to prioritize my feelings and how I feel and above anything else, to be honest. And back to what I was saying, like as like acceptance, like I've just accepted the way that certain things are, which has helped me almost become a better person. Because when you feel like when you can't accept certain things and you're kind of trying to change it, and like this pandemic and everything, that's all out of our control, so you can't change it. And yeah, like I started prioritizing myself, and yeah, that's it.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad that you are looking for help elsewhere to like I said, to help get the things that you need out of life. So many people, go walking around and like I know as a young person, like I said, I talk to kids all the time and they honestly don't even know how they feel. Like they want to say something, but they don't quite know how to say it. And so the fact that you're reaching out to get help, then somebody to help you understand what you're going through, I commend you for that. So that's good. That's good. You're on the right path. Okay.
Yeah, that's nice to hear because sometimes I do have my doubts, but I just started I didn't know exactly how I was feeling about a lot of things at first, but I honestly just started just saying how I felt, just not sugarcoating it or anything, which I think a lot of people, as I was told one day, that it can be scary because I kind of do come off a certain way and just say certain things. But I don't know, it's helped me because when you just say it, you just get it off the chest and that's it. And
Definitely.
people can take it however.
Definitely. I mean, you can, I tell my kids all the time, certain things I can only tell you the way I would deal with certain things. So please don't be offended when I tell you something, what we're going through. Like if we having a conversation, I just tell it the way it is. I mean, like I said, and I tell them all the time, please don't be offended. This is how I see things. You may see something totally different, or you may not relate at all, but it is what it is. So just sometimes you just can't sugarcoat everything. It is what it is, but you want to be respectable to whoever you're talking to, and just again, when you're talking to certain people, how do I want to say it? Like everybody can't handle what you're going through, and so know your audience. Some things you shouldn't talk to everyone. So, like I say, know your audience, know who you're talking to, and if you're going in deep with somebody, just make sure that they're somebody that you can really trust and rely on, because you hate for something to come back and it be the wrong interpretation. Make sense? Okay.
I have a quick thing to say real quick.
Go ahead.
You said that you said your students they don't know how to explain how they feel. They just feel it. I get that. I would say that whenever I feel that, I say I feel sad or lonely. But I just associate the feeling I'm feeling with the feel that I feel when I'm sad and lonely. I really just feel heavy because I don't know what it is. If that makes sense, I don't know if this makes sense, but I just feel very heavy. So the way I feel makes me feel sad and lonely, or makes me think that I feel sad and lonely, but it's just heaviness. Now, I don't know what kind of heaviness, but I just didn't know if anyone else felt that because you just said that they feel that.
Yeah, I run into it all the time. Like they just can't articulate. So there's a couple different ways. Like I have kids that can draw, like your brother, he can draw real well, and sometimes they get it out that way. Some kids they can't say it, so they just write it down, and they just write down their feelings. Just tell me how your day was, And some people can talk it out. So it's a lot of different ways that you can get your point across, and it's different for everybody. And like I say, when just find a way that works for you. Like if you got to draw, if you got to write it, type it, sing it. I had one girl in my class that she wrote this amazing song, and when I saw the lyrics, but when she sang it, I was like, okay, I get it. Like, okay. And she was depressed. She was suffering with depression, and she didn't know how to get it out. But when she said when she sings, she feels better. I said, well, then sing every chance you get without disturbing class or anything. But when you get free time, sing, write it down and sing. She mess around, be the next Beyonce or somebody. I don't know. Like just whatever work, however you need to get it off your chest, do it. Like I got one kid, again, one of my football players. He, matter of fact, not even. I'm gonna tell you another story real quick. I had this. I had worked in my first job. I worked in an alternative school when I got out of college, and a lot of kids at the alternative school they had different situations that they were dealing through. And had this one kid, he was so like hyperactive, and he just could not settle down. I mean, he would refuse to take his medication because he was like it made him feel different and feel weird or whatever. So we came up with a plan, and I put him through an obstacle course every morning. As soon as he get off the bus, 10 jumping jacks, run 2 laps around the building, 30 push-ups, give me some squat, like just to get that energy. Once he got that energy out, he could settle down and he could communicate. And I was like, if this is what we got to do, then that's what we're going to do every morning. And once he got that energy and settled down, he was smooth sailing. But before we figured out how to manage him, oh my goodness, he was off the wall. He was off the wall. So, but again, finding something, whatever works for you. Because like I said, he didn't want to take his medication. So I was like, well, we got to do something. So that's what we did. And by the end of the year, he was a lot stronger. He was a lot calmer, and he got it. He passed. He graduated. So, hey, different strokes for different folks, right? So whatever works for you.
You know, just to give
Go ahead.
the teens another technique to. Do you hear echo on my end?
I did at first, but now it's gone.
Okay, just to give the teens another technique to. I used to tell people to practice this thing called thought catching. So it's actually a counseling technique. So after they've gotten it out, sometimes people don't know how to switch it off. So, I write it out, or I do this poem, or I do this activity, or I'm talking in therapy. And then when I leave, I don't know how to close it off. Like I want to be able to switch to the next page. I want to put on a commercial break. And sometimes people just don't know how to get out of the funk. And a lot of times it's because we're used to our thoughts kind of just allowing them to just float the way that they want to. Meaning you're not the person with a remote controlling your hand, controlling your thoughts. Your brain is actually holding the remote. But I teach people to take their remote back. And one of the ways that even that it's a 7 or 8 year old can do it is if you pay attention to what you're thinking about when you're having the mood that you don't want anymore. Pay attention to what you're thinking about and intentionally think about something else. Replace the thought. And it's going to feel like a workout, especially for the first 30 to 45 days that you're doing it. It's going to feel like a workout. But especially for people that struggle with like seasonal depression, depression around certain timeframes of the year, different things like that, it can be very helpful. It's going to feel like you're doing a boot camp, just kind of what you said physically, but it's going to be mentally like you're doing a boot camp because you got to catch it all day. But eventually, and I would say sometimes it takes people 7 or 14 days, but eventually over the 30, 45 day process, you're going to notice that you have shifted and you're no longer stuck on some of the things that you were thinking. And you think, you feel, then you act. So you're feeling the way that you are because of the way that you're thinking. So if you can switch the way that you're thinking, you can change some of the times where you're feeling. If that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. I usually talk to my kids. I had one kid I talked to. They would always come to class with a bad mood, and I'm like, well, if you change the way you see things, like I always, when I greet people in my class, I said, today is a great day. You know why? And they be like, why, Coachy? Because every day is a great day. No, it ain't. It's a bad mood. I said, some people didn't wake up this morning. So let's be thankful for that, first of all. Some people don't have shoes to walk in. You do. You got plenty pair of shoes, all the good clothes, final jewelry, all the stuff, cell phone. Some people ain't got that. So it's all on how you see things. So once I broke it down like that, I said, just be thankful for the things that you do have. You might not have everything that you want, but you got enough. You got more than enough. And so when I broke it down like that, over the course of time throughout that year, I mean, her attitude changed tremendously because she wasn't worried about what somebody else had, or she wasn't worried about a situation that she was going through, because I told her, I said, it could always be worse. Somebody else out there is going through something. You gotta be on your test. You got a C on your test. Somebody got an F on their test. Something simple like that. You missed the bus. Oh well, somebody never caught the bus. Somebody always walking to school. You just don't know. So, but definitely see things in a different perspective. And like I said, throughout the course of the year, her attitude, was much better. It wasn't where I wanted it to be, but it was much better than what it was. So again, y'all can take that for what it is, and just like I said, just learn to see things, learn to see the bright side. Just learn to. It ain't always, every day ain't always great, but it ain't always the worst either. So you feel me?
Before you ask another question and move on, I wanted to say, like, to the people that do have anxiety, to people that do have depression, to people that are struggling, like going through right now, we don't go through these things for ourselves. We go through them for other people. And I say this because, like, we have to struggle so that we can help somebody else in their times of struggle. So don't think you're alone, because you're not. Other people are going through it too. But just know that since you've been through it, when someone else does, you can help them and you can be there for them. So
I think I almost had an anxiety attack going to the grocery store today. I saw all them people in the parking lot. I was like, I had to. I left and had to come back later on. So that's my little. Oh, I can't even.
Also,
What,
sorry. Um, also before you move on, because before I go to this call, I have to go to. I want to just say, like, with the different perspectives as you were saying, me working at MCV has shown me so many different perspectives, especially because I work more with the kids than the adults. So to see what a lot of these kids are just going through daily and what they're dealing with at home and stuff, it makes me sit back and think my life isn't that bad then, because these kids are out here struggling. Some of them don't even want to be at home. Like, I have kids tell me every single day, I wish I was dead rather than to live at home. And it hurts because no one should ever feel that way. I just want to put that out there. No one should ever feel like they're not wanted to anybody. So just seeing it from their perspective and seeing what they go through just makes me stronger in order to help other people.
Definitely, I appreciate that. Um, I hear it a lot too. I've had those conversations with kids. They don't want to be alive anymore, and trust me, no matter what life throws your way, you all have so much to live for. So much to live for. You have a gift inside of you that are waiting to just break out. And if you're not here, that gift is lost. So I tell them all the time, I appreciate you every single day. I don't care how bad you get on my nerves sometimes. I appreciate the fact that you're still here. You are still here. And we're gonna get to the promised land one day. We're gonna get there together. All right. So
sorry, I just wanted to
go
say
ahead.
one thing before we move on. I just want to say to all of you, I really appreciate you guys sharing and being open. And I think one of the things that has really stood out to me and just everything that has happened, from the position where I sit as a therapist who works with children, one of the things that often comes up is, children feeling like their voices are not heard, or, adults have their own issues, they have their own thing going on, and the kids kind of get lost in the mix. And so, spaces like this, opportunities like this, I think are so important, because we want to hear what you have to say, what is on your minds and what is on your hearts is so important. And so one of the things that I am interested in just hearing more about, of course we all know that we've been in this period of physical distancing, almost is get ready to be a year, and I know everybody has been affected by that, but with you guys, how has socially, when you think about your social interactions, whether it's with your friends, with your families, socially, how has things been for you guys in this season?
Go ahead, Empress.
Okay, so socially, I feel like I'm a very social, when I want to be, I'm a very social person. I feel like it has forced me to be okay to be alone. And I don't know if y'all heard, I say this a lot, but I don't like to be alone. I really hate it because I get trapped in my thoughts, and I like freak out because it's too many thoughts, too much processing. My mom, she says like you have to write this stuff down, and it's just too much going on in my head. I can't control it all at once when I'm alone. So I had to sit and be alone and be okay with being alone, which was really, really hard. I feel like socially, I thought I needed people when I really don't. And like basically I just need to be okay with being alone. I'm very social. I still like to be social, but I'm not as social as I thought I was, and I just need to be alone. And it's okay to be alone. Like I needed to learn, Empress, be alone. Go away. You don't need to be around people. That you really don't. Yeah.
I totally agree. A lot
Yep.
of people, like you said, you find yourself when you're alone.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids that
Really
my kids that I
hard.
work with, they feel they realize that they don't like certain things anymore because other people was influencing to do certain things, and they felt uncomfortable
Yeah.
doing certain things. And like I said, okay, well then you don't have to do that.
And then when like during a normal day, you would wake up early in the morning, like you would be around people all day. And so the fact that you're sitting down and doing those activities, doing the schoolwork, going to practice after school, doing the homework, eating dinner, going to sleep, you don't have time to sit and think about what is going on, or you don't have time to let your mind run. And I realized I didn't have time to let my mind run. So when quarantine happened, and I'm over here thinking about all the types of pasts and what's going to happen in the future, but I wasn't thinking about me right now. I was thinking about the present. Like when quarantine first, I feel like I'm rambling, but when quarantine first happened, I was looking at all types of colleges, thinking about 18 years old, wanting to be grown. I don't want to be grown no more. Like I was thinking about the past and what I went through in Asheville and what I was going through, how I was treated, how people treated me, how I treated people. I was really running with my head. Like it was horrible. And I had to stop and I had to think about now. And like it was hard, but I finally did it and I'm okay with being alone. So,
Good.
yeah.
You definitely this time has definitely showed us what's more important. And like you say, finding yourself is definitely top of the list on, you know, was what the things that should be important to yourself, knowing who you are, right?
Yeah. Real quick, Mr. Sean, can you let Michaela back in?
Kayla. I don't know how to do that. But Deshaun, if she there, can you let Michaela back? But yeah, definitely knowing who you are is important. And because like I said, with the way things were, like you said, from sun up to sundown, people are in your ear, in your face, and it's so easily you can get easily distracted and take you on another level that you're not even ready for. And you can be in a situation that you really don't even want to be in. And so, like I said, this time now has helped a lot of people find themselves, um, expose themselves. Um, because like I said, you thought you were something and you realize that you're not what you thought you were, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But like I said,
Yeah, no, you just have to work on yourself. Like you really think you're okay. Like I'm telling you, I did not think I really what is a spiritual warfare. I really went through that. Like it was beyond me. Like I was really fighting in my head. And I let my head control me, but I had to learn to control my head because I take something and I run with it and then it goes 3 different miles and it's just too much.
then sometimes, like you said, when
Um,
you got 1,000 things at once, focus on one thing, and then that one thing will lead to the next thing, and then you slowly and gradually progress, and you don't have to be consumed all at once. When Kiana was in Mary Kay, she said there was a saying that they said in Mary Kay, "How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time." If you try to eat a whole elephant right now, it's impossible, right? But if you cut it up into little itty bitty pieces, you can work through, the situations that you're going through. Don't look at the big picture. Just bite it, cut it down. Work on this piece right here. This right here might be your self-esteem, right? This might be your how you speak to people. This other little piece might be, something else. So don't try to take on the world all at once. Just focus on one thing at a time. And that one thing might take a week, it might take a month. It doesn't matter. This is your life. You move at your pace, right? That's all it is. There's no right or wrong when it comes to you, right? All right. There's one more
I think
thing.
the other young lady, I'm not sure her name. You had something to say?
Yeah. It's Amadi. It's just that my social situation has that's what I feel like I can't really relate to any of that because my social situation didn't really change much in this pandemic. And I've always been, not to sound weird or anything, but I've always been alone. So being alone, being isolated was nothing new for me. And maybe that's why it didn't hit me as hard as certain people because I was already kind of living a certain lifestyle before this pandemic happened. And I almost thought it was weird because I almost thought that the pandemic would almost make things better for me at first. And that's really because, at first, everybody's just inside. Everybody's just at home. Everybody's just, supposed to be, just doing nothing. And kind of connecting with the people that are inside their home, people that they might not even really pay attention to on a daily basis because of that. On any other normal day, everybody's just running around and going back and forth from work to school and coming home and, not really paying attention to each other, staying on their phones all the times and stuff. But it was weird because, it didn't change. There were times where I used to think, we're in a pandemic, it's quarantine, nobody's going out, nobody has anything to do. So, why can't I get a phone call every once in a while? Why can't I get a text every once in a while? Why am I still, why does it still seem like people are busy and are out and about when they're not? And, I think the way that I think I'm social in a different way than a lot of people are, which might also drive certain people away, which, my connections to people have gotten weaker since this pandemic. And that's really weird to me, but they have. And so, I just can't relate to most people in that way.
Well, matter of fact, let me ask. All right, Safia, can you chime in on how to help with the social aspect? Because I want to say something, but I want to get the professional first. I want to let you say something.
So one of the things that I'll say in terms of social, and I think, of course, everybody, first of all, everybody needs community, whether that is one other person, whether it's a group of people, no matter what your circle, what your support system, what your community looks like, that is something that everyone needs. And so when we're placed in certain situations, we learn to adapt. We learn to adapt to people not being there. We learn to, adjust to that. But that is not how God intended for us to live our lives. Our lives, God intended for us to live within community with other people. And so, of course, that can look different ways. And I'm not sure what your community looks like or what that consists of, but depending on where you're at, of course you're here with us, so this is your community, and so I just want to encourage you to know that even though it may feel like no one is there, even when people aren't there, God is always there. God always knows us. He always sees us. He's always there for us. He's always concerned about us. And God will place the right people in the right seasons to support you. And support is the second thing, because support can look different. Like I mentioned a little earlier, you know, everybody is kind of in their own zone. This pandemic has affected so many people in different ways, and a lot of people that are used to reaching out to other people, they're used to being there for other people, they've just been trying to hold on for themselves, and so they may not have been able to be as supportive as they have been in the past. But I firmly believe that everybody has someone that is assigned to them, that's for them, to walk throughout life with them. And so I know for me, I think all of us being here, this environment is environment of people. And so I personally would love to connect with you after, just so that we can touch base after this, because nobody should feel alone. And even though everybody has things going on, everybody does need someone. And so that's what I'll say about that. And yeah, I'll say that.
That was awesome. I totally agree. Everyone needs somebody, or like either if it's one or a group or whatever. My personal experience, I guess you could say I'm a social butterfly. I get it from my mom. Like, I get it honestly. She's always been the life of the party, and so people kind of gravitate towards me, my family, whatever, in that aspect. So it's like I've always had friends and stuff like that. But again, we going through pandemic and all this and that. And matter of fact, recently I had a friend reach out to me and say, "Hey man, I haven't heard from you in a while. Why you ain't never called me?" And this and that. I'm like, and again, I promise you, charge it to my head and not my heart. I need to work on it. People have been telling me this. I need to work on this. But communication is a two-way street. So it's not that I don't want to reach out to people, or have no need to reach out to people. Sometimes it's just not on my mind, and I do apologize. And from my friend, I told him, I said, "Hey man, look, pick up the phone. Just say, hey, a simple hey, what's up, can start a conversation that can last 3-4 hours, you know." And like I said, we talk and we caught up, and I told him, I said, "Look, man, I promise you, I will keep you on my mind." And sometimes and the sad part, I do think about people, and I still don't call. I'm like, and matter of fact, brother Maurice, he said it, man. It was God telling you should need to reach out to people if they keep popping in your head. So I need to work on that. I know myself. I definitely need to work on reaching out to people. But Tamati, like if you have, a couple friends that you cool with, just they may not know that you might be going through something. So just say, hey, a simple, hey, how you been? What's up? Start off like that. And next thing you know, y'all talking every day again. So, and then especially with today in time, like even though we're separated, we're really not alone, because you are where you are. I'm here on North Side. Sophia, you down in North Carolina. Like we're all together though. So even though we're apart, we're still together with technology. So utilize it as best you can. Dorian, he's in Chicago, right? But we're all together, right? So you were gonna say something, Marty?
Um, I was just gonna say, like, kind of to add on to that, it would just be
Go ahead.
like I said, like if there's one thing also, like I'm going, like you said, like I'm going through a lot myself too, as I have been for some time. And so I do take into consideration what other people are going through as well. So I try to take a lot of things with a grain of salt. But I'm not even gonna lie, like sometimes it does hurt. It hurts a lot because I am always the person. I always hit people up first. I always like I'm always that friend that always checks in on people because I know how I feel and I wouldn't want someone else to feel that way too. But if there's one thing that this pandemic has showed me, it is definitely all the BS that people are on. And I think, something that has changed for me is I think she said something about adapting. I have adapted to like I still care, but I've adapted to just being okay with being alone in that sense because most of the people that I'm friends with, even family members too, it's not even just friends, it's family members, it's people that I've known since I was like in kindergarten. And these are people that have their phone on them on a daily basis. they're active on a daily basis. So I know that they can, just hit me up really quick with just say, hey, how are you? And I recognize that. And I now take it with a grain of salt. And, no one's made to be alone, I guess. But I don't know. I think that's something that I have to work on because I don't want to become bitter and just be okay with just having my guard up and not talking to people and not, like I said earlier, like I'm prioritizing myself. So I kind of just, I'm wary of everybody now. And I don't mind when people just don't reply or don't want to talk to me or be around me. In a way, that's a good thing, but it also can be toxic, which I know. But, I just, it is good to have, support and stuff, which is something that I lack. But in a way, I'm okay with it. So.
If I could back off of her real quick, I totally get the you texting people first. I could not name how many people, like every single day, I text someone, how are you? How's your day? And it really hurts when no one does it back to you. It really hurts when I just get you. That's all I have to say. Like it hurts. Like it doesn't feel good. And it makes you feel horrible because they say, well, reach out to them. They'll talk to you. You reach out, they don't care. So it's just like, what are you supposed to do at this point? So I get you.
Yeah. You mean like I'm not like I said, like I understand that everybody's going through something different. But one of the common things that I just keep hearing is, like she said, like just hit me up and I'll be there, I'm there for you. I'm always gonna be there for you. But when I do need you, you're not there. And then it's just like, if you're going through something, if you can't always be there, then just say that you can't always be there. Please do not lie and say that you're always gonna be there if you're not. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just add this into that. That feeling of isolation it's a lie of the enemy, and it's a trick that he tries to use to play with our minds to cause us to think we're alone, we're by ourselves, that nobody is there for us. But the reality is that we're never alone because God is always with us. And that is the reality of the situation. And so even though we want people to show up for us, a lot of times, especially people who are leaders, people who are supposed to impact nations, impact generations, like all of you are, there are seasons where you go through this isolation period and this period where nobody is there with you. And in those seasons, those are the very seasons that God wants to use to develop you. He wants to grow things in you. He wants to reveal to you who you are, what you carry, his love for you, the authority that you walk into. And so I know somebody was talking earlier about perspective. And so those seasons are perfect seasons to shift your perspective, to say, I'm going to use this time to learn me. I'm going to use this time to know God. I'm going to use this time to develop whatever needs to be developed, because there's going to be a season where it's going to change, and you're going to be in different places. You're going to have, different opportunities. And because you took that time in the secret place, in the quiet place, in the alone place, to allow God to speak to you, to learn him and to know him, you're going to show up prepared for whatever that assignment is, for whatever God is calling you to. And I just want to encourage you guys as young people, because one of the things that I've realized, I am a therapist, and so in this pandemic, I've been expected to show up and to help other people. But in this pandemic, I really needed somebody to show up for me. And when I didn't have that, it really pushed me into a place where I was very much isolated. But in that isolation, there were times where I didn't feel productive. There were times where I didn't feel supported. There were times where I felt very alone. But in those seasons, in that period, I realized that God was doing something. And so when I looked at the situation differently, a couple of months ago, I realized, whoa, I wasn't just, alone. I wasn't just being unproductive, but God was producing something. And so here I am now, and I'm in a completely different place, but I had to shift my perspective and be able to see things in a different way. And so I just really want to encourage you guys, when you think about what you don't have, sometimes that is the enemy uses it to say, I don't have this, but I think that's it's the very thing that God wants to reveal to you. No, I'm not supposed to be alone, but I'm supposed to lead nations of people. I'm supposed to lead armies of people. I'm supposed to have massive influence over people because I'm in a situation where it's just me. And so I think that we have to flip that and say, okay, it's just me right now, but I have to do what I have to allow to be done, what needs to be done, so that when I have to be in a different position where I'm impacting, influencing other people, that I have what I need to do that effectively.
Definitely. I agree with everything. We all have a time in the season that we go through things, and it's in those seasons that me personally, I believe that God is really speaking to us, and sometimes it's hard to hear, and that's why I believe that He makes those opportunities for us to listen by separating everything around us. So you may be going through a season where you can't get in contact with nobody, you feel like you don't have any friends, but God might be trying to tell you something for a reason. So definitely, that I appreciate everything that you said, Safia. That really hit home for me because I recently went through some stuff not too long ago, and like I said, just when I look back at it now, I was like, duh, it's one of them aha moments, but definitely is everybody goes through that time in that season. So I appreciate those words. Before we wrap up, anybody else got anything they want to say? I've enjoyed all of this time. This was so much. This is such a blessing to hear from you all. Anyone got any last remarks or anything? Well, I definitely appreciate y'all joining on. Before we get off, my wife hit me with a few notes that I really want to share because it's really impactful. She shared with me the 7 C's for teams building resilience. The first one is confidence. All right, work on being confident in everything we do. All right, if you're going, my coach used to tell me, if you're gonna do it big, be all in. Give it your all, give it your best. All right, don't give it half of what you got. Give it all of what you got. All right. Be competent, having life skills and being able to navigate through life. Right. That's what being competent is. Having connection. Again, try work on building these connections. If you want, sometimes it may start with you reaching out. Sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do, but it's either you're gonna reach out or you're gonna be alone. Find a way to build these connections. Right, one connection right now is that we have each other. And again, please don't ever hesitate to reach out to me for anything. I'm always a text, phone call, whatever. So reach out. Contribution and coping and having control of your situation. Those are the 7 C's. I appreciate you all joining tonight. I love you all. This has been a great talk. Let's talk about it. A great let's talk about it. Do we have any closing remarks from Sister Deshawn? Do we have any closing remarks? Any announcements? I know we will be back here again, same time, same place, 7 o'clock on Wednesdays. I'm not sure what the next topic will be, but we will be here regardless. Matter of fact, I think Keanu's about to jump on. But again, I want to thank you all. This has been a great topic, and we will definitely schedule another team. So get your ideas ready, and we're going to do this again. All right. Thank you, Safia, for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Masika, for joining us. Jay, I know he had to hop off. I appreciate him. Dorian, did a young master ever come back? I don't think he did, but it's okay. Seabass, we'll holler at him. Michaela, thank you. Amadi, I appreciate you all.
Amen. Thank you all so much, teens. We are so happy and so glad that you all stepped up and you showed up this evening just to share what life has been like, how you've been resilient, and to learn from one another so we can keep pushing forward. So thank you so much to everybody. Thank you for all of our panelists, all of our moderators, all of the parents. Shouts out to the parents for getting the kids on tonight, giving them the space and opportunity to share their thoughts, their feelings, and their emotions, because we need to lend them our ears and let them know that we are here for them. So this was such a great, great talk tonight. We want to encourage you all and invite you all to partner with us through our giving. We have multiple ways to give here at Leviticus. You can give online on our website. You can give digitally by downloading the Givelify app. Look for us, the Leviticus Church. You can cash app at $ Leviticus RVA. You can look us up on PayPal. We are paypal.me/Leviticus Church. Or if you want to take it old school, you can mail it in at 1700 East Penn Road, Richmond, Virginia, 23228. We want to encourage you to meet us here next week for our empowerment class. We have it every Wednesday at 7 p.m. We are going to keep pushing and bringing you these Let's Talk About It sessions because we have things that we need to talk about to put biblical perspective and concepts on our daily lives. Join us on Sunday afternoons at 12:30 for our gathering, our Sunday service where we meet virtually. And if you're here in person, we are doing a soft open where we are practicing social distancing and proper safety protocols. So if you want to meet with us in person, you can do that as well. Sunday afternoons at 12:30. We want to also offer our Leviticus support services for anyone, for our teens, for our parents, for our community members, anyone who is in need of support, counseling, new strategies in this season or the next. Reach out to us. We have licensed clinical counselors, specialists, and peer support who can help you during this time of need. Reach out to us on our website, www.leviticusrva.com/support-services. Or you can just go to the website and click the LSS button. That might be a little bit easier. And schedule for your 3 free sessions. That's right. You get 3 free sessions to work out what your needs are. We thank you all so much. We appreciate your time, and we will see you right here next week. God bless you.